And now the Guardians, they've got just over a minute to make something happen. And it's looking pretty tricky. We're going to see Kairulius coming in, but support only, able to find one and the Supercharger. Tap with the tap, getting Rookie Ram as well. At the last possible second, they've managed to do it. The right click onto Quantum takes them out of the fight. And that's going to be Guardians with 30 seconds on the clock, finally capping point A.
Tap is going to try and deny with the flashbang right now, but it's going to be tough.
Oh, Hiver maybe a little bit too aggressive. Will get sucked in and punch out again. The rock comes out as well, doesn't find anything. Luckily, we've got the Coalescence there to try and keep them up, but Jixree's going to take Scrub out of the fight. Hiver still trying to find something with some of the abilities, but isn't able to find anything. Tap will be coming in on the high noon. Finds Quantum, not quite able to connect thanks to the Wraith Form getting out. Tap has the high noon here, in a position to use it. Will go through the shield, looking like he found one, two, finds one with it, finds Sketch. Luckily, we just saw Hiver able to get, just saw Kairulius able to get out of the way, but Guardians are taking that inch and turning it into a country mile.
Wrong, because he can just very easily find a way to engage. If it doesn't create an opening, he can still back off. Whereas Tap, if he wants to create that opening, he's going to have to go through a lot of shields.
Tap has got to be very clever here, because he will have the high noon shortly. A rotation into the battle line could do a lot for them, but that is a big Gravitic Flux, throws up 3. The follow-up damage not quite there. Quantum focus down by Madge. Scrub uses the Coalescence as well. Support only with the Death Blossom's going to find Rookie Ram. The high noon from Tap. Whoa! What a high noon! Tap in the middle of the carnage. 5-4 with the high noon to allow the Guardians to push this through into point C. How did they make that happen?
I don't even know what to say. I am speechless. Tap found the opening where there was no shield on the table, and his high noon was ready to strike. Got 4 in that because there was just nowhere the Steelers could actually go in that situation.
Inside the next 43 seconds, they will have the Coalescence to start things off with. Jixree closing in now on the Meteor Strike. Out comes the Gravitic Flux. No kills from it just yet. Jixree looking for something with a Meteor Strike, doesn't find it, gets focused down by Tap. Tap is proven to make this McCree such a dangerous pick. Out comes the sound barrier, but they've already lost Arc. But at 20 seconds left to go, you've got to try everything that you can. Tap managing to find Quantum as well, and getting close to another game changer of a high noon, potentially. Kairulius in, and wow! Tap finds Flabberjack as well. Tap with a high noon, looks like they might have been a little bit too far back. Able to find one, it's Kairulius. A lot of your mobility down and out. Support only finds Sketch. And look, again, they've done it with no time on the clock. They have got that team kill.
This McCree pick is just doing such a good job of shutting down the Steelers' DPS. We mentioned how good they are as a duo, and right now they've just been completely negated. Quantum nearly has that Death Blossom, but he has to get on this point for that to be useful.
Well, if we've got the Death Blossom, we've got potentially the Supercharger. Those two together are a fight ender. Out comes the Supercharger, out comes the Death Blossom from support only even, and Tap once more finds Quantum. This has been a complete turnaround for Guardians. Who knew they could find such value out of McCree when it's not even being used to focus down a Farah?
Wow, Tap really making that work, especially because it's a pick that we have said time and time again should theoretically not be optimal in this meta. You know, with shields, McCree really struggles against them because, of course, you need to be getting damage through shields to actually get value.
Scrub frozen, taken out of it again. Flabberjack res Kairulius back into the fight, and that is going to be a 4-minute time bank. So, if the Guardians want to keep themselves in this fight, they've got a full hold.
And this is the full hold we're talking that the Steelers managed to pull off on Volsky. We're not talking they can't lose first point, we're talking they can't lose the first tick. 33.3% is all the Steelers now need to wrap up their semi-final spot. Steelers, though, they do have that Coalescence on the table. Scrub not too far from it either, but Tap, his high noons have been pretty big, specifically that 4K. He's nearly got it online now.
Indeed, and you know, I like this positioning actually. They're going to assume he's in death ball, but instead going to be playing from up on the high ground. Only needs a few more clicks to get the high noon into position and ready to go. Has it ready to go? Quantum down already. In comes the high noon. Finds one. Only getting Flabberjack here, but still, that looks like a team fight win for the Guardians. Steelers now at under 3 minutes. So far, not able to work their way around this setup.
And that's where Tap's McCree really comes into play. When he's not under pressure, he can just free fire from that high ground. They had no idea he was there.
Support only cancels out the ultimate. What a clutch play, and now the Gravitic Flux from here there. Sketch and Jixry both down to the click of the tap. Support only finds Rookie Ram with the Meteor Strike. Now 2 minutes burnt off the clock by the Guardians. This has been a very impressive defense.
And this is where it starts to get in the Steelers' head as well. Can we actually take this point, or are we in danger of not capturing this with such a big time bank?
The Supercharger immediately taken down by Carulius. Tap about to get another line. Carulius has the Graviton Surge ready to go, but having lost the main support and that ultimate, they may want to back out. Guardians are doing so well right now. When you think of how difficult that was for them on their own offensive push, this has been really great.
How is Tap finding these angles? He's just going around the statue and they're not doing anything about it. The Steelers are they're losing it right now. They're really in a tough spot because Tap is just being allowed to do these things for free and get that damage down so freely. Quantum has not been an answer for him right now.
Well, I feel like the Steelers, they want to be fighting up against a bunch of grouped up targets, which they just don't have. Tap in the back. Oh, 5-3 with less than a minute to go on the clock. Tap is able to get the triple, finds the stun, finds the melee kill, does a couple of squats for good measure. Now, less than a minute to go, and we may see a draw now on King's Row.
I'm amazed that what we considered such an unoptimal pick in Tap's McCree right now has been the hard carry for this team. He's been putting down so much damage, and they still have not answered him on this high ground. He's still just been allowed to sit here for free. Quantum has been a bit of an issue, but he's just passed it off like it's nothing.
Fight Jixu with the Meteor Strike, the 2 Meteor Strikes, but Flabberjack goes down early, and nothing came out of... Nothing came out of him. Tap was there with the flash to deny any and all value from it. Tap, if there's an MVP award for your team, I think you need to be putting in an application for it right now. We did see Flabber coming in for the last second contest, but once more, the flashbang completely put paid to it. So that is a draw for the Guardians.
They do keep the series alive. That's very important here. The Guardians do manage to keep this series alive. And I do feel it is all down to this man Tap. Figuratively putting the Steelers in a coffin.
Indeed. Oh, actually, we didn't see that come up actually during the game, but that was a really nice placement out of that amplification matrix. Really helped secure that.
Especially considering just how much damage he was putting down there anyway. So on top of that, with the amplification matrix, even if the High Noon wasn't there, he would still be putting so much pressure on them at the low ground. But the High Noon was there. He gets his usual 3k. Everybody's happy.
Wouldn't surprise me to see Tap running that McCree on the next map as well, but it's worth bearing in mind, Guardians still have a lot of work to do because this is first to 3. So the reverse sweep needs to start now. Honestly, a competition between Quantum and Tap for ultimates of the game. Out comes the... Oh, well, actually, a huge play with the Immo and the shield. Support only was able to get 2 on the back of that, and now Tap has the High Noon. Guardians finally turning this around with Tap getting the kill there. Support only jumping into the front lines with a concussive mine. Nice little plays. They were caught napping on that first point, but wide and awake and ready to take some names on point 2. They've learned to watch the Quantum, who has now made the swap onto the Reaper. The High Noon with the Amp Matrix in the back finds 2. Unfortunately, Mage is punished. Quantum and Jixri getting the equalizers there. Well, Ark's going to find Jixri with a bit of help there from the flashbang, and the range advantage here for Tap puts paid to Quantum, and that's going to be a nice hole up into the corner, and it's just the Irisa left alive, and sadly down and out.
There's something so satisfying about seeing Tap pop these heads. He's just been so good. You see the amplification.
It's got a nice crunchy feeling, hasn't it?
Yeah, you saw the amplification matrix go on the high ground, and the Deadeye was there with it, and that was so smart. And you've seen that the Guardians are putting more and more faith into Tap here, and now the Steelers have really made a swap to purely deal with him. They put Jixri on the Genji, and now you see the cost of what the Steelers have been doing. They've been clamming around trying to find an answer to Tap's McCree, and they have 1 ultimate on the board, the Flux, whereas the Guardians have had plenty of time to build up to nearly 5 on their side. They can just blow them out 1 by 1, and the Steelers are not going to be able to do much about it.
Yeah, Quantum makes a swap back over onto the Barra, but here's the Gravitic Flux. Carulius caught up in it, will have one of them. Oh, but Eva able to do enough damage to take them down, and Tap on the high ground has spotted Quantum, and that's a free kill for Tap. Quantum caught out in the open. Tap once again coming up close to the team that has another High Noon. Mage has another Amp Matrix.
I don't even think they need the Amp Matrix. Tap has been building up these skulls. just as, even without the amplification matrix there.
Oh, gets a few on the way out. Carulius taking a lot of damage, has to back out. Support only with the Riptire from the high ground. Taken out. Nice. Actually, a lot of that was done by Ruggiram. Really, really good tracking there. Able to take that out. Tap. Closing in. Well, there's the Pulse Bomb thrown in for good effect. Tap once more with the high noon. Pressuring. Finds two. Good grief. Tap has completely come alive with this McCree pick. So impressive.
I feel like the term Brick Jail is just perfect for people like Tap right now. They have been let loose by these changes to put them on their DPS heroes and Tap. Although we didn't really see too much of him last week, stuck more on the Reaper and the Doomfist. Definitely, as you say, becoming one of the key points of this matchup.
That's right, Tap has found his wings, and those wings come with a cowboy hat and spurs. And honestly, if we can see Tap continue to keep up this performance, we may actually see the reverse sweep happen here. Tap. Oh, the rotation is going on still, and they force out the Valkyrie from Flabberjack. So what are they looking to achieve here?
I guess they're looking to just get a little bit of an advantageous positioning, but all this time is allowing Quantum to get in a position behind.
This is the fake out we were looking for. The rest of the team go in through that, whilst Tap looks for an angle, but Quantum too clever to be fooled by that. Look at them checking the angles constantly here. We are going to see them. They look like they might have done it. Out comes the high noon. Well fight 3. What a play from Tap. Down goes the Immo. Hiva gets Sketch. And we are going to see that payload keep moving forward. Like, the mind games that were going on in that fight are beyond me.
How does he keep getting away with this? It feels like he does it every single time he has the ultimate on the table, and they just are unaware of it. They even spotted him. Quantum was firing at that choke point. I guess he trusted he'd went back, but he just had... Quantum can re-engage with this barrage, but they have to get in a position.
Oh, but Tap gets Jigsaw down very early. The barrage is there, but so far, not able to find anything. The Experimental Barrier thrown in to deal with it, and the Steelers throw 2 at that and find nothing but the team kill bell.
Tap is just popping off right now.
We might have to rename it Tapping Off, frankly.
He's tapping heads, dude. But he uses a high noon. He gets 3 with that. He gets a 3k in the previous fight. He nearly has another high noon, and he's already on the flank again.
Yeah, this is... I mean, just got to wait for them to come round the corner.
How have they not spotted him?
Flashbang and get it...
Oh, wait. Okay, I thought the Guardians were the Steelers for a second.
Okay,
there.
I didn't wonder what was
confused.
happening. Well, out comes the Am Matrix, Gravitic Flux as well, out from Carulius, but Tap is already able to take the main support. Finds Flabberjack. Tap is in your backline. He's got a high noon. He's gonna find. Whoa! Quantum interrupts the high noon finally, but there are too few bodies on the point. Guardians get a point on the board.
Tap just feels like he is the driving force behind the Guardians right now. Even though we may not be, dragging them kicking and screaming, he's definitely the fire under them that is, giving them that motivation. Time and time again with these high noons, it just feels like he could...
This is such a big brain play.
How?
This is just... I think maybe it was Quantum thinking, oh, maybe they're going for the maybe they're going for the fake out. I'll just throw a few rockets that way. I don't think it was even aiming, just like, I know there's a choke there, I'm just going to fire at the choke and I'm bound to hit something eventually.
There's someone in that general direction, let's hope it hits.
Yeah, there were guys in red that way, we'll get them.
But he has a lot of fire under his team, clearly,
Absolutely.
And the Guardians are responding so well to that. They've come back, they've, in a situation where most teams would probably give up, they've turned it around, they've seen that, there is definitely still map wins and a progression to play for. Our first of possibly 2 control maps, depending on who wins this map. It is still up for grabs. I think the Guardians are going to stick with this. I don't think Tap will find value on this point specifically, but in the other 2 maps he could well get it going.
And there's a lot of space control available here, with Jigsaw having the wall ready to go. Can separate out a lot of damage. That's a nice wall already. However, the Halt stops a lot of the follow-up damage on the back of that separating wall. Carulius now. Well, Tap just finds Sketch. I mean, I guess I'm just going to assume that every kill, Tap's going to find Quantum, and then Tap's going to find Ruggy, and Hiver got Ruggy. Man, this has just been a phenomenal turnaround. I kind of can't get my head around it.
How is Tap finding value? I genuinely...
You just said he's not going to find any value on this map in particular, and there he goes, finding value on this map in particular.
He's somehow getting around this shield without any attention being paid to him. The Steelers right now are giving him a free floor to dance on, and he is He is busting out some good moves.
He's
I'll word it that
line
way.
dancing with the best of them.
Yeah.
Out comes the wall from Jixri. Will find a lot of value there. Sketch is going to take out the immortality field from Mage, but now the amplification matrix is up already. Tap with the high noon. Who's surprised by that anymore? Will only find Flabberjack, and down goes Sketch. What a
It's not even like he's finding angles around the shield anymore. He's just going straight through the shield. He's basically playing Reaper right now on that McCree.
Yeah, they've got 2 Reapers.
They have 2 Reapers. I thought hero limits were invented in Overwatch a long time ago. But the Guardians, they still have some very strong ultimates on the table. They have the Death Blossom, they're going to have the Supercharger, and the Flux. And the Steelers have nothing. Flabberjack is nowhere near his B.
The fights have been so quick that they've not really managed to get it. That's a big Gravitic Flux. Hiba doesn't find anything with it because the Mei was able to ice block out of it. Tap's going to get Rookie Ram, and that's a start. Your main support down already. A nice hold allows Madge to get 1, Tap to get 2, Hiba gets the 3rd. Tap will have another high noon, 10-player kill streak, and a kill with the flashbang.
I feel like Tap is just checking off things on a checklist right now, things he needs to get. Big high noon, check. Denial of space, check. Flashbang kill, check. He's doing so much. The Steelers finally have tools, but the Guardians can pretty much match them on all fronts.
With the Coalescence, doesn't quite get the kill, but a lot of damage being done! And the Death Blossom will find one, although that went into the kinetic grasp, but they just went in, pressed Q, and they got the win. There's no contest coming out from the Steelers, despite the heroes they pick. And that's going to be it. 1 map more, and we'll be at a draw across the series for the Guardians.
It is baffling me that the McCree got value in the first place, let alone that they've managed to carry it through maps and maps. The Guardians are somehow making this work and taking so much attention from the Steelers that they aren't even looking at Tap. He's getting 3 or 4 kills every fight now. You'd think that they'd identify him as something that's causing a lot of problems.
I think they just assume that they can keep running these meta picks because Quantum and Jixri are phenomenally good DPS. Quantum's Pharah is a thing that we have spoken about again and again and again. So I think they can just brute force it, but so far it's not been working. Captured, they've got the advantage. Beautiful! Beautiful experimental barrier from Hiba sends Quantum out of the fight. Tap now back in on the Tracer. Mage finds Flabberjack. Tap coming in on the Tracer to clear things out. Is going to see the Guardians take us to match point 2-2 with a drawed map. We talked about this maybe going to 3-1, maybe going to map 5. We're going to map 6. Is my counting right on that?
Map 6 indeed.
Such a good mastery of angle coming out from this player. We'll take a little bit of a dink there from Tap. It's going to be Sketch with the opening kill there for the Steelers with the arc going down, but Quantum still in the back causing trouble. Tap's able to get the better of Quantum now. And Sketch looking to find something around this drum and around the shields. And look, it was the opening kill for the Steelers, but so far, Guardians are the ones in charge of the point, and it's in no small part to Tap and support only. Although Scrub and Hiva showing up in the kill feed there to make sure they're included in the commentary. Barrage online, ready to go. Goes for the hole, and the barrage will find 3, punished by Tap. That's going to be so frustrating at this point. Imagine getting a barrage of that size and then still getting killed by Tap. Right, Carulius gets flashed. Tap took a long time to die there.
He did take a long time to die, and that doesn't mean they're going up to about 44, 45%-ish. There seemed to get a few members as well, so I'm not sure what happened there. But the second that shadow went down, Carulius was gone, and now they're just trying to stall out this point and get as much percentage as they can before the point flips over.
Yeah, Quantum falls to support only, who is closing in on that Death Blossom. Steelers doing a good job of keeping this alive for now. Tap with the high noon. Out comes the Blizzard as well. Looks like there just weren't enough people alive to make anything happen with that Blizzard. And Tap just clicking heads magnetically.
Oh, this man is on fire, both figuratively and literally, and he has that Death Blossom, that high noon online right now as well, and that could be comboed with that Supercharger to do so much damage.
The Death Blossom, but a Hulk coming out from Arc, robbed all value out of it, and another high noon out from Tap. Will find 2, Hiva gets a 3rd, and that's another one team fight easily. There aren't the ults online for the Steelers.
They just had to back off because of how early the Steelers decided to beat there as that coalescence.
Well, Rookie Rem's going to start things up, and very cleverly they wall off Tap. Immortality field goes down. Tap able to get back in, doesn't find anything with it just yet. Doesn't even buy a huge amount of space for the team. Oh, and the Death Blossom out from Quantum. What? What?
Tap.
What? How? Quantum? Quantum gets the double, but Hiver and Tap just completely ignore it and brute force their way into a win.